I said what I said. If you want to be a thot for high value men, go right on over there and take Kevin Samuel's advice. Because literally that's what he's telling you to do. He's telling you to lower your self-respect and sleep with a high value man as soon as you can, just to keep him interested in you and not run into another woman. That's literally what he is telling you to do over there. But I'm here to tell you that shit won't work. If he gonna run over to another woman, he's gonna do that whether you give up the poo nanny or not. And that's just the bottom line. Sex cannot hold a man. Sex cannot keep a man from running to another woman. You can have the best sex in the world and a man will still cheat on you. But you don't have to lose your self-respect just to try to get a quote high value man. And just because he's a high value man to society, once again, doesn't mean he's actually a high value man. That doesn't mean he has a high value mentality. He could be a high value man and have a shitty mentality, act completely like a child, act completely spoiled, acts like a woman, feminine like a woman. Just because he looks like a man and acts like a man does not always make him a man. Because real men, guess what? Real men love a challenge. They don't like real men. I'm talking about real men. I'm not talking about little boys. Little boys want something easy. They want something like a piece of candy that they can just grab at a store. Real men want a challenge. Real men want something that is a little hard to get. You know why? Because they feel like this. If they can get it easy, then the next man will be able to get it easy. But if you challenge him, then he'll know that you are a hard cookie to bite for the next man to bite. And he can say and know that, hey, I'm not dealing with a hoe. I know for a fact this woman is not a hoe. This woman made me wait such and such months before we even had anything intimate to do with one another. She made me wait. She gave me a challenge. Now, does that mean that he won't cheat? Most men do cheat. That's not what I'm talking about. The point is, he'll respect you. Whoever he cheating with, he'll respect you better than he respect her. That's what I'm trying to get around to. It's about respect. If you show a man that you don't have respect for yourself, then guess what? He's not going to have respect for you either. What Kevin Samuel is trying to do is tell you to give up your self-respect just to pull that high value man. Because he's a high valued man, he's the prize and you ain't shit. Basically, that's what he's saying. I can see through bullshit, and some of you black women need to learn how to see through bullshit. But at first he was talking a different tune. Now he's changing it up, telling you to do this and do that for that high value man, because he's the prize and you ain't shit. If you over 30, if you over 27, you ain't shit. And I already know some of y'all are going to be desperate enough and dumb enough to listen to him, because he wears a shirt and a tie and he looks professional. Oh, he must know what he's talking about. Oh, because he's an older man and you see your absentee father in him because you didn't have a father growing up. And so you look at him as a father figure, so you going to listen to him. And that's another thing you need to stop doing. Stop thinking that people with suits and ties on are legit. They're not always legit. It's people who work on Wall Street who are bigger crooks than people in prison. Stop being fooled by a fake persona on YouTube. You don't go to these people's houses. You don't know them besides on YouTube. Everybody wears a mask on here. Nobody shows their whole self on here. That includes me. I mean, I talk crap. I mean, I talk a lot of shit, but like in real life, I stay to myself. I don't be out here, and I might talk shit. I talk shit to people I know, but I don't be out here, just conversating like I am on YouTube. And a lot of YouTubers are like that. A lot of YouTubers on here are wearing masks. They are not the actual person that they're showing y'all. They're just giving you a piece of who they are. They're not giving you the whole entire them. They're only giving you what they want you to have of them. That's it. What he's telling black women to do is no different than what a sugar daddy on the street with money would tell females to do. Oh, I'll do this for you and I'll do that for you, but you gotta do something for me. You gotta let me feel on them titties. You gotta let me feel on them thighs. You gotta let me lick that. Oh, you gotta let me have sex with that. That's no different than what Kevin Samuel was is over there telling some of y'all. Oh, in order to get a high value man, you have to lower yourself and become a hoe, become a thot, like the Instagram models. Yeah, you got to become one of them if you want a high value man, especially if you past 27, because he have other options. He can go find him a 20 or 19-year-old. And the sad part is, some of you will do that shit and still don't get that high value man. He'll still go walking off to somebody else. Well, boop, there go your self-respect. Your self-respect going right out the door with him. Now what have you gained? You done lost your self-respect. You done gave up a piece of your vagina that you can't get back. And you still didn't pull that high value man. Now what? Wouldn't you have felt better if you kept your self-respect, didn't give up the vagina, and just let him go on to who he was going to screw anyway? Was that high value man really worth all of that you lost? I need y'all to get through your head of what he told you. What he's telling you to do is no better than what women who are escorts do. They give up the sex for the money, for the men to wine and dine them. That's what they do. And what he's asking you to do isn't any better. But what he is also doing and not knowing is making high value men look bad. He's exposing what they're really about, which is the same thing that they deem low value men are about. The same thing sugar daddy's about. That's what he's doing. He's exposing the corruptness of high value men and don't even know it. Hell, he's no better than a Pookie or a Ray Ray. What he's telling you actually goes against everything that your mom taught you or tried to teach you. If you had a mom, you probably had a grandmama or a good auntie that taught you anything worth having is worth waiting on. Your parents told you stuff like, men respect women more who don't sleep around, who don't give it up. It's easy. Men like something that they can. Men like challenges. He going against everything that you've been taught or supposed to have been taught growing up, and he's telling you to go against everything you was taught growing up, just for a high value man that you're not guaranteed to get anyway. I bet future baby mamas thought the same shit. What did he do? Leave them as single moms and moved on about his business. That's the reality of that situation. Giving up the poo nanny early does not guarantee you no high value man. It's just a piece of coochie you done gave up. There's no guarantee. And what I've learned in relationships, that giving it up early actually makes him lose respect for you. He no longer have the same respect he had for you. I'm not going by no statistics. I'm not going by no charts or none of that. I'm going by self-experience, from my experience in relationships. But Jay, were they high value? They were high value to me. I didn't have no money at the time. They had money. So, hey, they was high value to me because I didn't have a job working nowhere. They both had jobs. But let me start off with my ex. Okay. When me and him got together, I was real young. I was too young to be out there coding. I'm just going and be honest. I was 14. He claimed he was 19. I was sneaking behind my parents' back, do the stuff that weren't going right in the household. It was a whole lot of domestic violence and all that. And if you're an only child, sometimes you try to escape that through other stuff that you shouldn't be doing. I was hanging around a bad influence. Other girls, it was girls. I had friends, girls that were younger than me who were in relationship with older guys. So I did kind of feel left out or like something was wrong with me because I was seeing all of this. I was seeing all my homegirls with older boyfriends and stuff like that. But anyway, moving forward, I met him. Of course, he was at a service station. He snuck me his number while my mom was in the store or something. Okay. I called him, when I got away from around my mom, because there was a store on our road. So, and I used to walk all the time with my homegirls. So I walked up to the store and I called him. He found out that I didn't have a phone. Okay. He met me at the store. He gave me his cell phone. Imagine how I felt. I was 14 years old and I had a cell phone, right? I felt like a freaking winner because this man gave me a cell phone just to keep in touch with me. Imagine a 14-year-old getting a phone from an older man. You know what I'm saying? That's something that my other homegirls didn't get. They didn't get no cell phone from their man. It wasn't the fact I fell in love with him. I fell in love with, I guess, the feeling of having a boyfriend. That's what I fell in love with. He was buying me stuff. He gave me cell phone. I mean, our first date, he took me to a shoe store and bought, back then, Felines was the shit. He bought me some brand new Felines for $100 and some. I thought, that meant the world to me back then. Imagine a 14-year-old getting all this shit from a grown man. Shit. I felt like I was on top of the world. He made me feel like I was a queen or something. Took me to McDonald's and eat and everything. Of course, my mom didn't know none of this. My mom thought I was over my friend's house, and I was over my friend's house, but he picked me up from over my friend's house. But anyway, I was thinking he was doing all that because he wanted to be with me, but he was actually doing all that to manipulate my mind into believing that he wanted to be with me. But it was all a game, and I fell for it. So we started telling each other we loved each other the second night we talked on the phone, and we told each other ever since. Of course, at this time, my mom didn't know my mom didn't know I had the cell phone. Of course, I hid that shit from her. Before I would go in the house, shit, I put it in a bag and bury it behind the house or some shit. But that's not the point. The point is, I didn't make him wait. A week later, we had sex. I was inexperienced. I was young. I didn't know that was straight manipulation. But the point is this. After I did that, it kind of lowered his respect for me. Even though I was young and I was inexperienced, it still lowered his respect for me. Bottom line, men are men. I don't care if they're low value or high value, whatever you want to call them. At the end of the day, a man is a man. I'm going to tell you how I knew that he lost respect for me. Later on in our relationship, he actually asked me to do a threesome with his best friend. That was like almost a year into our relationship. And no, I didn't do it. I actually felt weird about it. But I knew then that he really didn't have any respect for me, regardless of how much money he spent on me or what he gave me for Valentine's Day. He didn't have any respect for me. And I knew that then. Now, after I told him no, then that's when he came with some bullshit. Oh, I was just trying to test you to see what you do it. Yeah, you're testing me because you had doubt in your mind. You didn't know whether I would do it or not. It was because I gave it up too easy to him. So he didn't know whether or not I was going to give it up easy for somebody else. Or maybe he was trying to test me to see how far he can manipulate me. But the bottom line is, a man who has respect for a woman does not ask a woman to do a threesome, especially not with another man. Now, after I got into another relationship with the man I'm with now, I had a little bit more experience. So I said, I'm not gonna give it up too fast. I'm gonna make him wait at least 3 months because I want him to respect me. So I did exactly that. I didn't move too fast. I didn't let him touch me or kiss me. We had several dates before I allowed him to even hold my hand. And I saw a difference. Not one time since we've been together has he ever asked me to do a threesome with another man. And he even told me that he respected me more for doing that, for making him wait. That's the difference between a man who has respect for you versus a man who don't have respect for you. But I can't blame that completely on him. I put my own self in that position. Even though I was young and he was older, I can't use that as an excuse. I can't. It was my fault. I shouldn't have never, ever. Well, first, I shouldn't never be in no relationship with him at 14 years old. But I shouldn't have gave it up after a week. Me doing that made him not have any respect for me, or have very little respect for me. I don't listen to Kevin Samuel. Kevin Samuel is full of crap. If you're dating a man that you deem high value, you make that decision. You don't let no man who call himself high value and talk sweet make that decision for you. Your vajayjay is worth more than money. Your vajayjay is worth more than a dinner at Red Lobster. And a dinner at Red Lobster, Olive Garden, or any of that does not cost $500. He full of shit on that too. A good man, regardless of if he high value or low value, wouldn't be putting you in that position in the first place. A good man allows you to make that decision because he's not with you. He's not trying to date you or get with you for sex. Although that's going to be a part of the relationship, he's not with you, trying to get with you for that purpose. If he runs off to another woman to get a piece of ass and completely leaves you alone, that was the only reason why he was trying to get with you in the first place. But I imagine what I'm saying is going to fall on deaf ears. A lot of you black women who follow him over there are so desperate for a high value man, or somebody you think high value. You'll do just about anything at this point because you never had a father figure in your life. And Kevin Samuels reminds you of a father you never had, and you gonna do that shit. You go right on ahead. Be a thot for high value men. Go right on ahead. Do what you do. I'm out.